You've probably already seen the video where Farfa asked himself, what if Brave Token was legal in gold format? And me and my friends, we've actually been dabbing into this sort of theories with different engines in older formats, sort of the same concept. But the question we posed ourselves was, what if, and hear me out, what if Orcust Combo was legal in LOB format? Ladies and gentlemen, me and my associates are proud to introduce to you to Tardis format. So for starters, before we actually explain what Tardis format is, we have to explain the format that we based it on, which is LOB format. LOB format is the very first Yu-Gi-Oh format in history, and as such, it has no ban list, which means all the cards playable in the format are playable in 3 copies. This gives us access to many powerful spell cards such as Last Will, Change of Heart, Reborn, Raigeki, and Pot of Greed, all in 3 copies, as well as Dark Hole. But the card pool of this format is actually very limited, as we only have 1 booster set, which is LOB of course, which gives the name to the format, and 2 starter decks, which are Starter Deck Yugi and Starter Deck Kaiba. So with that being said, looking at our deck building options, Beatdown is going to come up as the uncontested king of this format, as it's unrivaled both in power and in consistency, and as such is going to be the main focus in deck building. This is also because we lack good control tools in the format. We don't have many good trap cards available to us, as the best trap cards in the format are Trap Hole and Waboku, so not really much there to do stuff, you know? And that means we also have to rely a lot on removal spells like Fissure, Dark Hole, and Regeki. So with this in mind, we thought of a little bit of a twist, and we decided, let's put a limited amount of cards from another era of the game, and let's strictly regulate that amount and try it out. We played it, we had fun, and here we are. So I'm going to explain in detail the Wanderers. The Wanderers are the cards that we can play that come from a different era of the game. So we decided that the amount of cards that you could put in your deck as Wanderer slots, let's say, is going to be a quarter of your main deck size. What does that mean? That means that if you're playing a 40 card deck, of course, you can play up to 10 Wanderers in your deck, but there's a little bit of a twist here. You can split, actually you have to split those deck slots between your main deck and your extra deck. This means that if you want to play 10 Wanderers, you can play maybe 6 in your main deck and 4 in your extra deck, or the opposite, 4 and 6, or 10 and 0, or 8 and 2, in whichever combination that you may desire. This also makes sense in another deck building aspect, that is, if you go up with your deck size, you get access to more Wanderer slots. So say you play 60 cards, you actually have 15 Wanderer slots, which means you could play other combinations, like 10 in your main and 5 in your extra deck, for example. So that's also a thing to keep in mind when you're building a deck. But the main concern with us was the competitive format, because we wanted to organize tournaments and play best of 3. And so the biggest issue for us was the side deck. We decided that the side deck in best of 3 matches is going to be comprised entirely of Wanderer cards. Why is that? This is so that we do not have to hard lose game 1 and just be down for game 2 and game 3 and not make any possible comebacks, let's say, because we don't have the answers to the threats our opponent is producing. So for example, there's good decks in the format that actually have the capability of dodging targeting effects or stuff like that, and so, or dodging destruction, which is the prime form of removal in LOB format. So say we had to stare down maybe a Time Thief Redoer or a Dragoon, stuff like that, we might not have the answers in our LOB card pool, which means we have to cite appropriate answers like Kaijus or Super Poly or stuff like that. And so we decided that you could use your entire side deck and devote it to entirely to Wanderer cards in order to either respond to your opponent and actually play the game and be able to bring forth your strategy, let's say. Or you could just extend your engine and play more combo pieces and get faster to your combo pieces, for example. So that depends on, of course, on the deck that you're going to build. For example, if you build a control deck, you might want more answers. If you're playing a combo deck, you might want more extenders or more combo pieces. That's pretty much the gist of it. I've explained the theory behind the format, the theory behind the new deck building rule, let's say. And yeah, so we're going to have a look at top dogs at the meta, because we actually tested out the meta, and there's like 4 good decks that we're going to try out. So we're going to try them out right now. So the first deck we're going to look at is Redoer Control, which is a Time Thief deck with Rescue Rabbit as its main playmaker. We also play 2 Winders to search the 2 retrogrades we're playing in the main deck and the 3 copies of Redoer in the extra deck, of course. The main goal of the deck is to get to Redoer as fast as possible in order to gain continuous advantage by taking top card of our opponent's deck, and if it's spells or trap cards, just to draw cards or remove threats. The side deck is entirely comprised of Time Thief cards in order to make Redoer more consistently or to have a little bit of a higher ceiling, which is the case of the 2 Exceeds, Perpetua and Double Barrel. Plus we also have triple flyback in order to get traps pretty much every time underneath our Redoer as material, and the 3 Graceful Charities for consistency. Deck has a very good matchup against Dragoon Control, but not a very good matchup against Orcust, but we'll talk about that later. So the second deck we're going to take a look at is Brave Token, and this is where the staples for the format come in handy, because Last Will actually takes our Enchantress from the deck and pulls it out and special summons it, because Enchantress has 1500 attack. So that effectively turns any level 4 normal monster that we have in the deck into a copy of Rite of Ramizer if we have Last Will, because we have Link Spider in the extra deck, which sends the monster to the grave and procs Last Will. Yeah, pretty much standard engine, Faithful, Griffon, and Draco back in the main. The extra is Link Spider, Ossa, and Unicorn in order to have a bit of a higher ceiling. Side deck is 2 more Enchantress, 1 more Draco back, 3 Super Poly, 3 Gameciel, and 2 targets to answer the threats, 1 more Access Code, and 3 Graceful Charities for consistency. Access Code is to get a better endgame, let's say. List number 3 is Dragoon Turbo, and let me tell you, this deck is dumb. This deck is dumb because Red Eyes, Black Dragon, and Dark Magician are not Wanderer slots because they're legal in the format. And so this gives you much more consistency to play the cards, which means you can play 3 Red Eyes Fusion, 3 Red Eyes Insight, and 2 Red Eyes Wyverns in order to make the deck a little bit more consistent. Then you have the 2 Dragoons in your extra deck, and that's pretty much it. I don't have to explain what we're doing with the deck. So, the side deck is the 3 Graceful Charities as well for consistency again. 1 more Dragoon, 2 Spiders and 1 Anaconda to access the combo when we open only level 4 monsters, 1 Red Eyes Fangwith Chain, and 1 Red Eyes Spirit to give more utility to Insight, 3 Kaiser Colosseum, Floodgates, and 3 Sphere mode because it's a huge removal tool, seeing as we don't need the normal summon. The last deck we're going to talk about is Orcust Combo, and this, in my opinion, is the strongest deck in the format, and I'm not telling it because I'm biased and because it's my favorite deck out of all of these, but it's just the best deck objectively. Any 2 level 4 normal monster gets you into the Orcust combo because we're playing the Mermaid package and we're playing 60 cards. The fact that we're playing 60 cards is just purely because we can access Mermaid more consistently if we open more level 4 normal monsters. So yeah, the extra deck is Phoenix, Mermaid, Galatea, Link Spider, and Dingirsu. That's pretty much explained. We're playing Last Will, of course, but yeah, it's 60 cards, it's a bit harder to see it. The side deck is comprised of 5 more copies of the extra deck cards in order to perform the combo, 3 Terraforming, 3 Kyoto Waterfront to search the 4 Kaijus we have in the side deck. Terraforming also searches Babel in case we need it. This is pretty much it. I explained the top 4 decks in my opinion and my associate's opinion. So this is the format. like as of right now, these are the decks that we're playing the most, that we've had more success with, more fun with. It's like 5 or 6 of us, and we've been playing this for a long time. Actually, it's like a year or so, and Brave Token is just a recent edition, but it's been performing very well. But why am I doing this video? This video is here just because we need help. I would really love to turn this format into something that a whole community can enjoy. I would like to organize tournaments with these formats, which is the whole reason why we implemented a side deck in the first place. Otherwise, it would just be something we play just for shits and giggles. And yeah, so what I'm asking is, please share this video. Like, that's the interaction I'm the more hyped up about, because if you share this and more people see this and more people think this is a cool idea, then maybe the community just gets bigger and we can actually have tournaments, and maybe bigger people will host this, but maybe bigger people will see this, bigger people will have fun with this. Like maybe, I don't know, Farfa or Empathy, or I don't know, Sam, Ruggles, Stevie, Distant Coder. I just really love the fact that maybe this could be the idea to get a new fresh format and have something fun to play with friends. So yeah, that's the whole idea behind this video and behind this format. I thank you all very much for watching and for interacting with this video in any way you can. Like, sharing is the most important one, but likes and comments are still very good because they benefit me with the algorithm. So I'm Trivella, I'm signing out. Thank you guys, love you all. Peace.